I'm here today to talk about a sensitive topic that is one of my initiatives this year, human sex trafficking, which is the exploitation of people for monetary gain. It is one of the largest criminal industries in the world, second only to drug trafficking. While many people think trafficking only happens through kidnapping or in faraway places, the stark reality is much closer to home. Victims are often targeted at school, in malls, through family members, and most often online. Social media, gaming platforms, and even payment apps can be used by traffickers to groom and control children. This is not just an Atlanta problem. This is a Georgia problem. It is a community problem. The message was first shared during the 2022 district conference in Augusta, Georgia, with past District Governor Ed Presnell as part of a larger conversation about how Rotary can help human sex trafficking through awareness, education, and action. At that conference, I realized something important. Our district was the only district in Georgia and Florida that has not yet taken action to eradicate human sex trafficking. Rather than waiting for someone else to lead, I knew I had to take action, and I began locally in Brunswick at the Coastal College of Georgia. While I was sitting there listening to victims describe isolation, psychological control, fear, manipulation, and the breaking of a human spirit, I realized that I related to those victims. Not because my story was the same, but because I knew what those tactics felt like. And I knew what it was to live in that darkness. That day, my commitment to fighting human sex trafficking became deeply personal. You see, I was raised in a religious cult in Connecticut, where obedience was demanded, questions were punished, and fear was disguised as faith. I was not allowed to think for myself. I was taught to obey, to stay silent, and to survive in an environment built on control. When I got married, I found myself in another form of deep captivity. My husband was abusive and made several serious attempts to end my life. Leaving also came with devastating loss. I lost every member of my family and all of my friends because they were all a part of that cult. So when I heard trafficking survivors speak about isolation, control, manipulation, fear, and the loss of personal freedom, I understood something many people may not fully understand. I understood that captivity is not always a locked door. Sometimes captivity is fear. Sometimes it is silence. Sometimes it is psychological control. Sometimes it is the slow breaking of the human spirit. And because I knew what that darkness felt like, I also knew that silence was not an option. That moment became a call to action. I turned concern into action by helping organize a 2-day educational event at the local level. The event trained more than 350 first responders and community leaders, including law enforcement officers, school resource officers, nurses, clergy, educators, and others who may be in a position to recognize the signs of human sex trafficking and respond. The event also included an educational session for the public featuring 3 powerful voices: Susan Norris from Rescuing Hope, who brought deep experience in advocacy awareness and survivor support. Amy Hutzel from the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council through the state of Georgia, who provided important insight from the state level. And Darcy. Darcy was a survivor who was trafficked by her mother beginning at the age of 3. Her story helped people understand that trafficking is not just a statistic. It is personal, it is real, and it can happen in families, neighborhoods, and communities where no one expects it. This local effort showed what Rotary can do when we choose to act. District 6920 clubs can continue this work by hosting awareness programs, partnering with schools, supporting professional training, inviting survivor-centered speakers, educating parents, and connecting with organizations already fighting human sex trafficking. Clubs can also work with the Rotary Action Group Against Slavery, known as RAGAS, and use Rotary's global network to bring resources, speakers, and proven strategies into our local communities. But I know victims of sex trafficking do not just need rescuing. They need restoration. They need people who will walk beside them, who will fight for them, who will speak up for them, and who will help them rebuild what was stolen. And that is what Rotarians do. This is who we are. We are a force against injustice. We believe in service above self, not as a motto, but as our mission. So let me ask you, if one voice, one act of service, or one club's commitment could stop one person from ever being trafficked, wouldn't it be worth it? So let's be that voice. Let's be that light. Let's be that force for freedom. District 6920 has the connections, leadership, compassion, and courage to make a difference. We have a committee formed to continue this work. If you would like to join that committee, please reach out and we will point you in the right direction. We will also be launching an online portal where you can learn more about our local initiatives, access resources, and find ways for your club to take action. The question is not whether Rotary can help. The question is, how will your club take action? Thank you.